morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sound Talk Show. I got some problems today with the YouTube setup, and today is September 4th, 2019, Wednesday. Now it's 9:47 p.m. San Francisco time. Let's see. So are you guys seeing me? Let's see. Click on that. Okay, so s- s- finally, good morning, everyone. Uh, I'm having problem with this today's Sound Talk Show. Today is September 4th, 2019, and so I struggled for 40 minutes. It looks like YouTube had some change of, I'm not sure for sure because YouTube changes their interface all the time. You have, and today I tried something different. I tried, using, that plus sign to start the stream, and everything went bad. you know the thing with software is that usually if it works, don't touch it. So today I tried something and new, and things went bad, and so it took me 40 hours to figure this out. YouTube changes their interface all the time, uh, because now you have YouTube Studio Beta, and then there's also the YouTube Creator Studio Classic. So it's very confusing because they have options to allow you to switch back to Classic or back to the Beta, but it's very confusing because in some features, for example, if I want to go to the live control room, I have to click what appears to be the Classic, the link that says, some features are not there yet, so you have to use this link. But I use this link, then, but it actually ends up, this seems to be YouTube Beta. I'm not sure this page is whether YouTube Studio Beta or the Classic. And this looks different from what I see normally. Let's see if this works. Okay. So I'm live, and I guess nobody's here. Let's see how many people does it say. Peak concurrent 1, total view time 0. So how many people? It does not even say how many people is watching. Okay, so good. So this is actually a experiment then. Uh, yeah, and someone thumbed it up. Don't know who that is. So close that. So I'm going to, I guess I'll just random chat then, unless you guys have a question. Let's check if this is working. It is, I think. And I'm just gonna, I think what I'll do is I'm going to delete this video when it's done. Oh, hi Green Deck. Hi Green Deck. Have you been waiting all this time? I had some problems with YouTube. So Green Deck, you are in Russia, right? So let's look up Google Maps. So I think let's just random chat about anything non-technical today. And at the end, I think I'm going to delete this YouTube video because it's pretty bad. Actually, you see, over here, I've been live for 20 minutes. Uh, Yeah. So anyway, let's just random chat. So what's up, Green Deck? It's Google Maps, and I'm hungry. Now it's 9:50 p.m. It's like at p.m. night, and I woke up about 3 hours ago. So my sleeping schedule has changed again. I woke up 3 hours ago. And let's look at Russia. Russia is this big, huge country, but most of it is ice, I guess, snow and ice. The top. And Moscow is on the left side. It's like near Europe. I used to think that Moscow is on the east side, but because when I think of Russia, I tend to think of the part above China because I'm Chinese, but Russia is actually on the west. Moscow is busy. And Green Deck, if I remember correctly, you are somewhere here, like somewhere on the east of Moscow. So today I have some arguments with Chinese friends, actually, some Chinese friends I know in here. Um, well, we had arguments online because of the Hong Kong situation, the Hong Kong protest, violence, rioters. That's happening. It's happening big time. So among Chinese people, some are pro the Hong Kong riots or protesters. Some are pro, and some are anti. So it's a problem, among us. So many of us, it's like your friends is on one side, and you are on the other side, or your friends and family. So you kind of see this diversion, and so among my friends, among the Chinese friends I know, I mean, let's limit to the people I actually have seen face to face in real life. They are diversion, like some are pro, some are anti. So it's a big problem. But I was talking to some of them, who are pro the Hong Kong protesters, and the conversation didn't go well, didn't go that well, because it's almost like, okay, so let's, from today on, let's stop talking. It's almost getting to that point. There's nothing I can do. I mean, even I understand this is very hard topic to talk about, but I want to, but there's no way to almost stop this happening. Even though I'm very careful and I'm respectful, but it seems for some political problems, this just happened. So Greendeck says, I wanted to ask your opinion about Hong Kong. I heard that almost all Chinese people are against communist China. That's not true at all. That's pretty much, I mean, if you are outside of, uh, if you are not Chinese, that's what the Western media is like that. They want to say, I mean, because as you know, there are so many fake news when it comes to politics. Depending, for example, there's A and B against each other. So depending on who are you for, so you tend to hear all the news of one group. As far as the Hong Kong issue is concerned, I'm guessing most you hear, the Western media is China bad, Hong Kong good. You want to support the Hong Kong people, and you see videos, footages, and news and footages and photos every day. That's basically Chinese cops beating people. I mean, have you seen that? That's what you see, right? That's my guess. But if you are Chinese, then of course you see different stories. You see the other side. The Hong Kong protesters. They beat the civilians. Who do not agree with the protesters. They the damage properties massively. They go to into a subway station. They just hammer everything down. Massive destruction. So that's the situation. I am, if I have to say, I'm anti the Hong Kong protesters, the anti the rioters, very much. Um, hey Yad Taher, where you from, Yad? So today I think I'm going to talk random, and I think I'm going to delete the video. Maybe I probably delete the video afterwards because I don't know, because I think it's pretty bad. I don't know when did I start. Anyway, so Yad Taher, where you from? And Green Deck. So Green Deck. So what do you think? Answer the question. Let's chat. So Green Deck is Yekaterinburg. Yekaterinburg. Okay, here. Yekaterinburg. So here is like very interesting. I have no idea what is it is like to be in Russia. And let's drop in Street View. Let's see if we can see some Street View. Oh, so Russia, Russian. So Grindex says, well, Russian government media are against protesters. Okay, but that opinion is unpopular in the internet, I see. Kurdistan, part of Iraq. Oh my God, you are from Iraq? Oh, that's more troubled country. I mean, yeah, well, because Iraq war, I guess. I'm in America. I'm in American, so I don't know how what's going on there. But as far as I know, correct me, correct me if I'm wrong, or just say your opinions. So so people can see what is Iraq people's opinions, at least for you. So as far as I know, the USA, our government is very bad. So in Iraq war, they say, oh, there's weapons of mass destruction. Nuclear war. Iraq is creating these nuclear weapons, and the Iraq government is very bad. Like people would say, like China. Beating people, totalitarian. No free speech, all that. So USA wants to free Iraq. So we started Iraq war in 2004. Basically, you just bomb out of them, bomb. And, civilians, 600,000 civilians died. And, okay, so this is 15 years ago. And what happened? So is Iraq better? No, it's not better. So is it better? Is it better than before? What do you think? Yad. So, tell us, what do you think? And in USA, when Iraq war happens, USA forbid. It's forbidden. You cannot show pictures of the war. People dead on the street. It's not allowed. No media do that. It's not allowed. Uh, and also you are not allowed to show dead U.S. soldiers. Typically when U.S. soldiers died in Iraq, you ship the coffins back, with flags on top. You have some photos on that, but but typically you don't you don't allow that. In USA, technically it's a free country. You have free speech. You are allowed to say anything you want. Yeah, but that's not totally true because, for example, all the major companies, all the CNN, MSNBC, news media, New York Times, they do self censor. They don't do it. So you do not see those pictures. Also, especially in YouTube, you are not allowed to show, for example, video footage of any war, Iraq war. Today everyone has a phone. There's a lot of camera, so you can when war happens, or even on the street violence, there are thousands cell phones taking videos, uh, and anyway, so there's censorship. So Yad says the north part of Iraq is way much better. Erbil, which is a city in Iraq, now is like Dubai in the 90s. So what do you mean like Dubai in the 90s? So is it very rich or what? The north part of Iraq is way much better. Oh, that's anyway. So talking about Iraq with Iraqis. So you are Iraqis, right? Is that correct to say that? Because I don't know nothing about Iraq. I as far as I know, there are different like subtypes of religions. Islam, one are against the other, something like that. Yeah. So I don't know. So what? Yeah. What? Keep typing. What else are we gonna talk about? Uh, so we can go look at Iraq. So where am I? So are we back to Mountain View? So we look at Iraq. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Abdul. Iran, Iraq. And I think our government, USA, is very bad, but because Saddam Hussein, who was Saddam Hussein is supported by USA. I think in the 1980s, USA support him. Why? Because USA, because you got oil here, you got oil in these countries, Qatar and Kuwait, and USA wants a pie. Of course, USA is very bad. This has been written. There's a lot of information if you dig. There's books written about that. So USA basically wants to have control, some control, in Middle East, so they can say, oh, so that benefit us. For example, I learned, in Saudi Arabia, or was it, in some of these countries, they have oil, right? Also Iraq, and we made agreement with them so that when they sell oil, the only way to sell oil is via U.S. dollars. I learned from some of the I know it's true. It's no secret. But I learned that last month. So the only way they sell oil. So the only way you can you have agreement with USA. So the only way you sell is via US dollars. Anyone who buys your oil has to use US dollars. That is evil. That is how USA control many things. Uh, Okay, Yat says, but I live in UK for 10 years. Okay, so right now you are in UK, is that right? That somewhat makes things different because if I thought you are in Iraq, and then I was getting the feeling maybe I shouldn't talk to you because YouTube is going to ban me. The FBI, they are all watching all these things. You know But if you are in UK, then that's different. That's better. Uh, Abdo, hi Abdo. I'm doing great. Abdo, where are you from? And Abdo, what is your question? Type of question so we can talk about things. Um, because today is just random. Okay, I think I'm going to delete this video because this is. So Abdo says Saddam Hussein had a fight with Kuwait for oil. Okay. Uh, So Greg Greendeck says, I actually see many Asian tourists on the street. I don't know if they are Chinese, but they are very likely. Oh, okay. So I guess you cannot tell Chinese from Asian faces, right? Like Japanese, Korean, Vietnam's. Yeah. So you cannot tell. I can. But of course, on the other hand, I cannot tell Russian people with, there's like, yeah, yeah, Russian or or Uzbekistan, oh, these people, So Abdul from Egypt. Oh, are you? Oh yeah. Okay. So oh, from Egypt. That's new to me. That's two. That's new. But yeah. So wow. Oh my God. So you guys are from all these countries. So that's novel. That's new for me because in real life, like in USA here, I'm in here. I'm in here. This is Silicon Valley, San Francisco. This is called San Francisco Bay Area. So in here, I never know anyone in Iraq or Egypt or Russia. Yeah, I don't know any. Here is Silicon Valley. This is called Silicon Valley, where Google, Facebook, YouTube, PayPal, Apple, all are here, and Yahoo, all these tech companies. And here, the the people here are very diverse, meaning because this is a big city. In San Francisco or Los Angeles or New York here, New York somewhere here. That's all big cities, and in big cities you have all kind of people, diverse people from other countries. But for example, I know Indians. There are a lot of Indians programmers, but I don't know anyone from Egypt or Iraq or Middle East. Oh yeah, so you are actually in Iraq. Okay. Okay, so Yad says, by the way, I'm also asking my UG students to watch your Emacs videos. Oh, great. What is UG? University of something? Okay, so you see, let's look at the globe. So you see, in Middle East, like I really have no idea what's going on there. So, and as you know, US has, it's very highly, very sensitive topic in USA. So when it comes to Middle East, I'm just telling you how I feel, as a American. I lived here for 30 years. I'm 51 years old. So I lived in USA all my life since 1989. So let me tell you how I feel, so you get a sense, what American. I'm probably not typical American because I'm Chinese. So you have to talk to white people, then they can, then you get a sense. But as far as I know, I read news, for 30 years. I read enough news. So all I know is this Middle East is troubled, is troubled place. So I know there's Iraq war, and today USA wants to go to war with Iran. because this on the news. They it's on the news. I think I don't think our government USA is good because they lie. You can tell because when you actually look into the news, there are many people, from the mainstream news. Typically, they say Iran is bad. Okay, they say Iran is bad, Iraq is bad, or whatever, or Syria. Or where is Syria? Let's see. Where is Syria? Somewhere here. Okay. Uh, let's see. Syria. They were there. Okay. So yeah. So USA, drop bombs on them, and also there's the Israel question. The Israel is a country supported by USA, us. I have Israel friends online, but I also have Palestinian. Where is Palestinian? Lebanon, I think. So Lebanon people are Palestinian. Am I correct? Something like that. I also have online friends I know who are Lebanons who told me, you know, like there's war, killing every day. So they told me these stories, and I also have online friends who are in Israel, and he told me his stories. So all I know is there's war, killing, bombs, bombs from the sky and killing people every day. And but if you read the mainstream news media, the mainstream like CNN, almost doesn't matter it's a left wing or right wing. Pretty much all Americans agree. Most Americans agree. They just want to bomb Iraq, bomb bomb Iraq, bomb Iran, bomb whatever Lebanon, bomb Syria. All the almost all U.S. mainstream is like that. But that's mainstream. Doesn't matter left wing or Democrat or Republican. Most of them. Okay, but there are different voices you can see that expose all the lies. It's just they why bomb because it's good for USA. Because we are the most powerful. We just go there do whatever we want. That's USA. So that comes to the Hong Kong too. Let me, I know a lot about Hong Kong. Okay, so let me tell the Hong Kong story. Hong Kong. So what's happening in Hong Kong? So I don't know what you guys see. Hey, good morning, George. Uh, Palestinian is Israel. Palestine is Israel actually. So you cannot see Palestine on map. Oh, okay. So you see, Hong Kong, from my point of view, okay, because this is also contentious among Chinese. There are some pro the riot, Hong Kong incident. Some are anti. Okay, I am anti the Hong Kong riot, and so this is my own perspective. Let me tell you why. USA, the whole Hong Kong riot, in my opinion, from what I see. Okay, you know I I am not dummy, so I go online, I look for information, right? Just like everyone else. I don't trust the mainstream. The mainstream will tell you is that China is the dictatorship, evil. They cops beating people every day. They show videos and photos, but I don't trust them. So I look, and then you can see videos and all the videos and tons of photos, thousands of photos and videos. You see the different story. It's the whole thing. So from my perspective, from what I see, is created by USA. It's set up. Depending on how controversial you want to go. Like according to some videos, the whole thing is planned. It's like there are some people in Hong Kong very rich, and they are paid by USA by a branch of CIA called NED, NED. That stands for National Endowment, uh, National Endowment D for something. You can just look it up. Wikipedia, NED. Okay. So what does this do? I mean, this is a branch of CIA because it was, at one time in a history, the U.S. law says, okay, CIA cannot do that. You know what CIA do is they go around, they pay all these rebels in different countries to overthrow, to make trouble in a country, so that you get a government that is pro USA. In other words, puppy states. So USA can say, "Oh, you should do that," and the leader of that country does that. Puppy state. Okay. When I start to talk about this, I start to get angry. Because then I started to have a lot to say, and I started to think about all those people, my friends. They think, they are on the other side, but I disagree. So I started to have a lot to say because I want to tell my story, because this is what I see that is the truth. What they say is not true. So because then so I want to convince you guys. But anyway, let me talk about the NED. So you have um, this NED, with NED organization in USA, which is a branch of CIA, because at one time, 40 years ago or something, CIA, the US government decided, oh, CIA, you cannot do that. It's illegal. It's not right to spend billions of dollars on other countries to change their country, to change their leader, to create rebels, to create these so-called grassroots protesters, to do violence, so overthrow the government, so you get a new leader that's your puppet. That's not allowed. So USA made some change in law, but the CIA. So what they happened is, instead, so CIA created this NED branch, kind of organization. So so the NED does that. So CIA doesn't do that. So it's like a loophole. And the NED, they spend billions of dollars every year to send. So USA, the strategy is, first of all, you can bomb them, all these countries. If they don't like, they are enemies. If they don't do good for USA, you bomb them. US, we are the most powerful. We spend, the most money on military of all the rest of the world combined. We spend more money on military. So we are the most powerful. So if we either bomb them, but for example, in China, we can, you cannot bomb China because China's got nuclear weapons now. If you bomb China, you're gonna half of your people, half of us will die too, because the world will, the earth will go away. Nuclear war. So you cannot just go there and say, oh, Chinese evil, we're gonna bomb them. That doesn't work. Okay. So instead, you have this NED, net spends billions of dollars each year. That's tax money. That's our money. Tax money. You pay P2 people. You make trouble. You pay to those people who does not, who may have weird ideas. For example, you pay them, and so they then you create this violence, lies. You spread lies and you make people angry and create violence, and blame it all to the Chinese government, the Communist Party. So that's what happens. That's my story. That's I have a lot. you know to believe me or not, that's up to you, but I can show you. Actually, I'm not sure I want to, because then it becomes then it becomes opinion. Then it becomes, I just want to point out, that's all. I could show you, because I've written a lot. The NED, the document. It's not secret, by the way. This NED spending billions of dollars to change other country. It's called regime change. By the presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard. She's a great person, I think. So she's talking regime change. She wants USA to stop regime change. Okay, it's called regime change. It's public information. It's not secret. You go to the NED website, you can see it's all public. Let's go there. You go to the NAD website, you can see they tell people, actually they tell all the rebels in all the countries, come to us, we'll help you. If you don't like your country, come to us, we'll give you money. And it's all open information, and they have, you know, so this is not a conspiracy theory. This is, what, so Tulsi Gabbard is called regime change. If you cannot change a country by money, by creating this problem, then you just bomb them. Eat one, one way or the other. That's what USA us are doing. It's extremely evil. So that's my opinion about that. So let me read the comments. So Abdul says, so Abdul is from Egypt. Thank you. So you are showing my tutorials. Yeah. So how does that work out? Showing my Emacs tutorials to your student. Because on my YouTube, I have lots of random things, like today. Uh, so Abdul and George says, good morning, George. And George, where you from again? You are either from Australia, right, or Southern California. I don't remember which. George says neoconservatism has become the bipartisan position, unfortunately. Uh, what do you mean? Like political phrases and things are very complex. Like what do you mean? Neoconservatism. Like the same word have so many interpretations to different people. So neoconservatism, that's kind of like the hawk, right? Like the American who wants to bomb other countries, who wants to control other countries. And bipartisan, like what does that mean? Yeah, so I don't get. So okay, so George is in Perth, right? Perth, Australia. So yeah, so I haven't talked to you for a while. I haven't seen you for a while because my live stream has been in the morning for the past weeks. So Grindex says, so as far as I can tell, people who support Hong Kong want Taiwan to win over China. They say that Chinese in Taiwan or Singapore act living way better than China. Yeah, that's false. Like Green Deck, I can tell you right away. That's all. That's it's so false. It's impossible to believe. It's really, like I, like I don't know what pictures or what things you have read. Like, and I know you are in Russia, right? So you don't see Chinese much. You don't have. So so what? So like right now, what I feel is like, how can I possibly try to? Where do I begin to tell you? That like I can immediately show you there are so many photos and articles and pictures. That's so false. I don't know where to begin. You know, and also it's more complicated. It's not like for example, Taiwan. Then we have to drag in history, like how did we Taiwan become that? That part maybe you already know, okay? And Taiwan people, there are several parties, okay? Some party, like a minority, they want Taiwan independence, meaning like from now on, Taiwan is gonna be a country by itself. Right now, it is not, okay? Right now, yeah, so it's getting more and more complicated when if I want to start to explain it, because Taiwan, the official name right now is Republic of China. Okay, it's still like kind of China, Republic of China. The China here, the big land here, that's People's Republic of China. That's their official names. And so they are different government systems. Okay, they are different government systems. But now in Taiwan, there is one of the party. Now remember, this is just one of them. There's like maybe I don't know 20%, 30% people. I mean, this is controversial depending on who you ask. The Western people, for example, they would like you to think all the people in Taiwan wants to have like independent declaration of independence. Anyway, and what does hold on, let me get back. Okay, anyway, so there are some percentage of Taiwan people, in my opinion, maybe 20%. Okay, maybe that's biased. Maybe 30%. Okay, they want so-called independence, meaning that they don't want the name Republic of China. Meaning that they from now on, today they want to have a new country called just Taiwan. That's one of the thing. Okay, many details. So it's not totally true that Taiwan and also, do Taiwan people support Hong Kong? I don't know. I don't know exactly for sure, but I'm pretty one thing I'm sure for is that not all. Maybe you have half. Yeah, maybe you have half supporting Hong Kong, half supporting not supporting Hong Kong. Okay, and even Hong Kong people by itself. Today I have heated argument with two Chinese guys I met face to face here. Well, we had argument online, but we've met. They are around here. Okay, they are. We are planning to meet face to face, but I had argument with them. So they tell me, they tell me like blatantly. They tell me, oh, all the Hong Kong people hates China. They want to, Hong Kong people. They want to, they don't like China. And to me, that's just so forced. But what can you do? It's like when you have. I mean, like, let me try to convey this to you. Like, for example, in your country now, you have different parties, right? So you believe in this and your friend believe in that. So what he say is totally false to you, but he believe it so strongly, and he think whatever you say is totally bullshit. That's the situation. So when I talk to these two people, by the way, these two people, they are pro Hong Kong, but you have to realize, I know a lot of other Chinese people like I've met here. Not a lot, but at least one. Let's see, at least two. They are pro China, they are anti Hong Kong. So it's not like I'm talking about these two guys, and you think, oh, maybe all Chinese support Hong Kong. That's not true. So if you get all those people getting together, basically it's chaos. Political situation is chaos. Uh, oh, good morning, Bartholomew. Now you are here. Wait, today I tried to change your time, and actually, so Bartholomew, I'm going to have another talk show in about 7 hours. If you go to my YouTube, you'll see it. I have another one coming up 7 hours. So maybe that, but I'm surprised you are here. What time is it in Germany? Uh, let's see. Let's see. 7 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Bartholomew. so you so you joined my talk. You are a loyal fan, I guess. So today we are just talking random. We're talking about some politics. I'm thinking I'm going to delete this video afterwards. What do you guys think? Should I delete it? Because because first of all, this is not a good video because I was not focused. I was, and also because it's politics. It's not good for my channel. I mean, it's like going to be a thing on my YouTube will, like, kick me out anytime when I have too many of these kind of things. So in Perth, Australia. So George, so what do you think of Hong Kong? Maybe I shouldn't ask in case we are totally on the opposite opinions. Uh, so should I? No, don't delete. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That actually, I can guess that's what you would say, Bartholomew. But but it's not good for me for YouTube. I know what you're gonna say. I mean, you're gonna tell me, do just what I do. You like it, and I like it. But but there's reality to be concerned about. I'm living on, this little ad money. If Google kills me, kills my account, I'm going to have a problem. So, so I'm doing a little bit, at least a little bit self-censorship, like, yeah. So all these political problems, that's a problem, and um, so Greendeck says, hold on a second, let me catch up with the comments. Uh, so Greendeck says, so as far as I can tell, people who support Hong Kong are, okay, we covered that. It's not true, okay? If you ask Hong Kong people, I think it's like 30% who are pro, 30% are anti, and the other 40% don't care. They just they don't care about politics. They just want to live a good, live with, have a good life. And I think that percentage actually is true for most political things around the country, like in USA. In USA, you have maybe 30%, are on the left, pro Democrat or whatever. 30% are, Republicans. The other 40% don't really pay attention to politics. That's the situation. So George says, how we transition from a world with one superpower to a world with multiple superpowers is a big issue, in my opinion. I'm more worried about that than climate change. Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean, but I don't quite get it. What do you mean transition from one superpower? Yeah, I mean, so the problem with the politics is that you cannot explain well with just few sentences. So I kind of get what you mean. Like, right now U.S. is one superpower, but okay, then China is rising, and um, so in other words, so, and yeah, yeah, something like that. Uh, so Greendeck says, I'm just saying things that some people around me think and say. I actually don't know anything about this issue. Okay, so yeah, of course, we have different opinions on Hong Kong in Russia. Okay, but if actually it actually touches problem of communism, and that's a whole other problem for us in Russia. Yes, indeed, exactly, communism, and also, wait, what? So what does Russia? So I don't know anything about Russia again. Like, so like last week, someone on Mastodon was telling me, my friend, okay, he's my follower, and is that you? No, I don't think it's you. So he's telling me about Russia, and I was just completely confused. Like, he's mentioning Putin. This, okay, one group people for Putin, the current president or whatever you call it. But then there is, he's telling me something, but I'm just totally, like, I don't get it. I'm totally confused. I mean, you have several parties, okay. I'm just totally confused. Yeah. So I think this is true for most people. When it gets out of the country or your ethnicity, you are concerned. It's like you have no idea what's going on. Uh, so that, so this is politics. I think the rich people, the power, I think the one thing to blame is actually the rich people, the powerful people, because they are doing these things, and usually they do it. Why all this happens, why all this misinformation happens? Because all the people, what they want is they want to become richer. The rich wants to become richer and more powerful. The human ambition, that's kind of unsatiable. You just want more and more money, more powerful. So they do whatever that's good for them. Each person do whatever is good for them. So that's why all this happens. That is my thought. That is my ultimate, you know, reason for why all this happens. And this is bad because you cannot talk to your friends, because when something like Hong Kong, or I don't want to focus, because I want, Hong Kong, in any place. When this happens, then your friends may agree, is on the other side. Then you start to fight. That's bad for every person, because he believes something you think is totally fake. You believe in something he think is totally fake. So you two guys start to fight, and you two guys, but actually it's all these problems are caused by people who are above you. And today, the internet, people spread massive false information, fake news. And Twitter, Facebook are all doing their part, because Twitter and Facebook, they don't actually care about what is true. What they care is about making more money for themselves. So they create, you have text limit, then they do censorship. And they say it's good for humanity, but it's not. They right now they are censoring China. Right now, the Twitter, Facebook, they are censoring a lot Chinese Twitter accounts, because they are pro the Hong Kong. Why? Because Hong Kong, it's created by USA. Hong Kong, USA wants Hong Kong to fight China. So Facebook is all doing censorship on, imagine. On one hand, we say, oh, China doesn't have free speech because they censor the internet. Why China censor internet? Because USA. Because if USA doesn't exist, why should China censor? You don't need to censor anything. It is because USA creating the Hong Kong riot, washing people's brain. They tell people false information. That is why China do censorship. What do you think? And other countries, do censorship. What do you think we need it for? Why would China do it if USA doesn't exist? Of course, USA the fuck. It's the most powerful in the world. Spend more than any country's military combined. And when this happens, then the small country do censorship, because USA invented internet. You spread all the false information. You have means to do that. Why else? What possible other reasons would China do censorship? Why would they? Because USA. And now you see, now China is fairly powerful. And in Hong Kong, did you know, in the Hong Kong situation, there are so many Chinese, because I know, who, not government, not from the government, the Chinese people in China, they are angry because they are anti-Hong Kong. They see what happens. They are anti-Hong Kong. Okay, and they started to they voluntarily to get on Twitter. Okay, Twitter is banned in China, but they go through VPN. They voluntarily go through VPN, join Twitter to say good things about China. This is happening. Okay, you might have read on the news. They say it's a Chinese government. It's not Chinese government. Okay, they are Chinese government also do that. I suppose they have bots. They pay people cheaply. Few cents for them to tell good news about China. But there are also a group of Chinese citizens who are doing it voluntarily. You can see them a lot. And today, since 2 weeks ago, Twitter and Facebook are banning them. Can you imagine? So Twitter, Facebook are banning Chinese citizen account. And there are people in USA, okay, Americans, white people. They looked, every time these kind of things happen, you look there will be people looking into the issue. They examine, they get all the data of all the bank account. They look into what those accounts are. Is it really true they are, the Chinese government bots, trying to say good things about China. It's not true. You can look at, it's rather more complicated. It turns out, as far as I know, I read, I looked into, those spam accounts are about, most of them about another issue, not about Hong Kong. There's another, yeah, so it's getting complicated. There's another guy. There is this Chinese billionaire, okay, who recently had a fallout with the China government. His name is Yue Gui something. I don't remember. Yue Gui something. His name. But anyway, that's a you can look up. You can find it. Just search for Chinese billionaire controversy. Okay, you'll probably find it. New York Times, they all report it because they are on the U.S. side. But anyway, that is another big issue. Okay, so as far as I know, the banned account are about that guy, not about Hong Kong. Most of the banned account are about that guy. So anyway, so let me read the comments. So Abdul says, but sometimes many people really be with rebels. This happens in the Middle East too. With after that they regret about asking for the change and getting the change already. Things go worse after that. Yes, exactly. USA Iraq war, they killed 600,000 civilians. 600,000 civilians. This is 2004. I lived through it. Because this happened in 2004. I was in when it happens. I was actually in Taiwan. Okay, I was actually in Taiwan. This is the only time I went back to Taiwan for 6 months in my life. I went back to Taiwan for 6 months. Living in USA for 30 years. This is the only time I went back to Taiwan. 6 months in 2004, and that happens to be the period Iraq War happened. Uh, so I see it, and 600,000 people died, civilians, not military, in Iraq. Iraq people, is U.S. did that. So what the fuck? So is that for that's supposed to be for democracy? That's war on terror, and it turns out we cannot find weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And after that, then U.S. bombed other places. I haven't paid that much attention. But the Iraq war was then, at that time I was paying a lot of attention to see what who is doing what. What can you do? And from what we know, that all this war on terror, it used to be the phrase war on terror by George W. Bush. uh, War on terror, you killed so many people. And many of these countries after war, they are not better. They are not better. They have terrorist groups. They local militias. Local militaries. It's not better. But something made people. So Yada says, I would say that since it's not related to your channel, then removing the video is not a bad idea. Yeah, maybe I'll delete that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, right now I'm undecided. I think maybe after one day I'll delete it. But right now I am eager to show these to those two my Chinese friends who didn't agree with me. We argued. I want to show them because because Bartholomew says you should worry less about what YouTube wants and worry more about what you want. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying exactly. Bartholomew says you won't be kicked out because of this. There are tons of videos that talk about politics and they aren't kicked out. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Uh, yeah, that's actually very, very valid reason. So maybe I should not delete. That's yeah. Then George says, one thing, let me tell you something, Bartholomew, because from 2012, about 2011, okay, to let's say 2004, 2005, I had very severe financial problem. Okay, right now I'm making $1,000, but before I'm making like $50, $100. Okay, and not even, I wasn't making any money at all, like $0 for 10 years because I didn't work. Okay, $0 for 10 years. So how do I live? I live very, it's like, you seen the movie Matrix, the first one, Matrix. You eat porridges, every day. Porridges, milk porridges. That's what I do. I still do that, but now I'm better. Okay, now I'm better. But anyway, from like, I guess some of you have seen my other videos when I was having troubles. 5 minutes video about food. I was like that. So anyway, so from that's about 2011, okay, to 2014. Anyway, so, and for a period of time, I used to be this trollish guy. I troll with people. I argue about Emacs, about Emacs list, flaming the open source. I say my opinions directly. So Bartholomew, so you can tell from those my history. I'm like you. I believe, like, I don't care. Fuck off. I don't care what you say. I'm strong, and I was younger. Okay, back then. I'm getting older. When you get older, you worry about more things. And I know programming. I know the Unix. I know the Unix inside out. This Unix philosophy fucks. I just argue with them. I don't care. And I have money. I have a job. Or I can find any job I want because I know I'm fully. There are tons of places wants me. I can code. That was back then. Today I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let me continue the thought. So I was like above it. I don't care. I'm just gonna say what I believe. And I believe I'm pretty good person. Okay, at least I'm not a bad person. Okay, as far as ethics and morality goes, I believe my deeds, what I've done in my life, private or public, is better, morally better or ethically better than many of these, open source, the free software foundation people. This I believe that is true, better than them. And I don't mind it. Like, you can look into my life. I don't care. Let's see. If someone argue me, that's then back then. Okay, so I was this very cocky guy, and also flamboyant. Okay, but when I don't have money for 10 years, I kind of like, when you don't have money, you kind of, yeah, hide yourself in a sense. So especially in 2010 2011 to around 2014. I stopped all my flame wars in Emacs. For example, I read my Emacs blog. I used to say anything I want. Then I kind of started to stop all kind of that, because on one hand, because it's not like one day I made a decision. It's not like that. Rather, I thought, I mean, on one hand, I'm getting older. When you are older, things, your thinking change a little bit, and you are less aggressive. That's generally true. And on the other hand, I felt like maybe I should change. Let's see what happens. Let's not just go to, let's not when you argue with the Unix people, let's not, don't just say go fuck yourself and say, I give my reasons, solid reasons, and you are the fucking idiot. I was thinking, it's, for a change, let's see what happens. I'm always like experimental and exploration kind of people. So let's say, for a change, and stop, try not to do that. So for like 5 years, I stopped doing any of that. You know what happens It turns out here's a key point. This is a punchline. So are you guys still there? Say something, okay? Bartholomew. Uh, yeah. So Bartholomew, you still there, right? I'm checking if I'm if I'm still alive. Let's see. YouTube. What's going on with this? Okay, I'm still alive. Yeah. So you see the YouTube interface changed. What's up, brother? So yeah. So 5 years, Bartholomew. So for 5 years, I kind of mellowed down. And here's the punchline. It turns out that's no good. It did no good for me. Okay, it then I becomes when then I started to shrink. Like, oh, don't talk to, don't do this, don't do that. I started to become shrink. Okay, that's no good. It only until recently, like, let's say 2 or 3 years ago, let's say 2 years ago or three, I started to become myself again. Like right now, in the past few days, you've seen me swearing at the Unix fuckheads. Okay, I started to do that again. I mean, that's actually me. Okay, that's you. Sometimes you could say you cannot change yourself. There's a saying like "be yourself." There's a saying, "be yourself." That is actually very good advice. That's valid. Of course, the detail depends on the interpretation. What do you mean be yourself? Like if you go to an interview, you can't just go there. Oh, I don't like open source. I think they are fuckheads. That's not really be yourself. Okay, so I mean the interpretation is that you want to be, because when you are be yourself, whatever is natural, your personality, whatever it is, you actually have the most expressibility and control and direction in in controlling things. You get the most, you maximize your own potential. That is what it is. That's be yourself. So for me, I'm just this type of guy. So I'm not a leader type. I'm not a smooth talker. I'm not a politician type. I'm not a salespeople. Social. I just be myself. The raw kind of raw nerd programmer, and philosophical kind of thinker kind of people. And so that's my, yeah. So if anything, be yourself is a great advice. Now I don't know how old you guys are, because because I know my followers is quite diverse, from different countries. Some are younger, I know some of you are. So Bartholomew, what age group are you? Like 20s, 30s? I think I probably asked you before. But I know some of my followers, some are younger, some are, 20s, 30s, 40s. I know they are, yeah. So Bartholomew says, "You have no idea how being myself has got me into in trouble lately yet. I won't surrender. I will live on stand for myself." Okay, that's good. You have to take care of yourself. Not extreme though. Like, you don't want to be, oh, be myself. Then I'm going to be extreme. Uh, Greendeck says, "Thank you for this stream. Very interesting to hear other opinions, because pro-China opinion is highly associated with our government media." Okay, so yeah, so I didn't know at all. So I guess in Russia government, they want to be pro-China, huh? Yeah, yeah, I didn't know. Uh, Half as young as you. Okay, you are 25. Great, great. I'm halfway into the graves. You are a quarter away. So actually, I think that's about it today. Oh, 48 minutes. Okay, actually, we can talk a bit more. Okay, let me drink something. So anything else, guys? So Zamin Ma. Zamin Ma, where you from? Good morning, Zamin Ma. Zamin Ma, are you someone I know actually? So guys, talk, okay? Talk, paste things and talk. So Abdul says, I'm 23. Great. Unemployed and really applying for jobs. Great. So Abdul, didn't you say you're gonna show my stuff to undergraduate students or something? Wait, Abdul is from, this is one of the problem with Abdul is from Egypt, lived in UK for 10 years, I think, and right now in Egypt. Oh yeah, so Egypt. What is Egypt like? That's so many people. So interesting. Egypt, like Egypt. Egypt is the cradle of civilization. You know, you have the Egyptian pyramids. To you, I probably sounds extremely idiotic. But that's what I know. Uh, yeah. Anyway, so uh, Zamin Ma, you are from China. Fantastic. What city? So Zamin, do you mind tell us? Are you more pro the Chinese government or are you more pro the Hong Kong protesters? Tell us. Just give us your opinion. Say that. Answer. So today I have 100% orange pineapple juice. Let's see if you can see that. Uh, okay, 100% orange pineapple juice. I'm getting pretty hungry. I think I'm gonna go eat. And so Bartholomew, our next video is going to be programming language style. I mean programming style, functional programming style, and my programming style. So we missed talking about that the other day. So we're gonna talk about that. So Nightbot, good morning, Nightbot. One leak equals one respect for my total that died from drowning. One like equals one respect for my turtle that died from drowning. What do you mean? So actually, I think I should get off. My roommate is back. Okay, Zamin Ma says you don't know. Okay, you don't know whether you support Hong Kong or China. Okay. So Abdul says, haha, so true. We have very good history, but modern history is not that good anymore. Yeah. Iris Gasha, good morning. Bartholomew, the video today. No, tomorrow. I mean the I mean for me it's next day. I mean in 7 hours, right? In 7 hours or something like that. I'm going to have another video stream. So for that one, I think we're gonna talk about. Are you able to go that one, Bartholomew? In about was 6 to 8 hours. I forgot exactly what, but it's you know, are you able to attend that? If not, then maybe not. So we have I gay nibam get greatly appreciate if you are subscribe. What do you mean? Subscribe to your channel? Oh, Bartholomew says it's today. So are you going to be able to attend that one? Okay, so we'll talk about programming style then. I hope that I'll be energetic enough to give a good talk. So anything else, guys? So Zamin 马有没有问题？有没有什么 Emacs 问题，还是什么其他什么问题？ 想讨论的。So Zamima, so do you have any questions? Are you following me because of my Emacs stuff? How did you find me? So if there's anything else, maybe that's it for today. So type it. Okay, guys, type it. I think there's a 10-second delay from the moment I ask and the moment I see whatever you type. So if you hear this, just type something or say goodbye, then that'll be it for today. Say bye, then that'll be it. Or ask some questions. Uh, yeah. So Zami, next time. Okay, thank you guys, Yad, and thank you guys for coming. So I think I'll keep this video up, yeah, for a day. Maybe yeah, it's good for at least we. Oh, it's about 20-second delay. Really? How can you actually tell? Yeah, thank you guys. So Zamin, 有哪一天我弄一个中文的，一直想弄I'm gonna talk in Chinese for a bit. So 有一天我弄个中文的，一直想弄中文的，因为讲中文的话，大家了解方便。Zamin, where you from？你在哪个城市？如果方便的话，就说。Yeah, so if you don't mind, then say what city you are in. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Abdul. Bye for now. 上海, great, fantastic, Shanghai. Shanghai is one of the biggest city in the world. Shanghai. 啥命嘛? Bartholomew says it is maybe 10 seconds, but I want to be more patient, so I said, oh, okay. Sam Tan. Sam Tan is from Beijing. Beijing. I hope to see you. Okay, yeah, see you guys next time. Beijing. Beijing 你好，下次再见。下次准备弄中文的，拜拜。